This is everything you need to know before going to Belize. Maybe you just bought the tickets, or maybe you're thinking, should I go to Belize? So this video is for you. We're here in LA at my home, but we're at the Pelican, the Belizean restaurant. Oh, hi. Thank you, looks good. Yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm very excited, so I'm not sure if it looks really nice and appetizing. This is not Belize, this is LA, my home, but I want to help you dissect all the things you have to know before going there, and I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that are going to be really helpful for your next trip. Number one, safety. How safe is Belize? I think that's the biggest question that people ask about Belize. I would say that, of course, it always depends on the areas you're gonna go. So, for example, if you're gonna go to Belize City, I would tell you to be mindful of south side of Belize City. There's a south side of Belize City that they say the crimes have taken over, the gangs have taken over. So I would advise for sure to avoid that area as much as possible. South side of Belize City might be dangerous because there's a lot of gang activity, a lot of crime. In Belize City bus station, when we were waiting for our bus to San Ignacio, it was getting darker. I kind of felt for a little bit scared because like, okay, you know, it's getting too dark. We don't know the area. We don't know anyone here. So like, oh my God, but the police patrols everywhere. The safety is their top priority. And even when the people would approach me and ask me for money, stuff like that, the police would come to you and they would make sure that you're fine and they would tell them to, you know, go elsewhere. But otherwise, I would say Belize is an amazing country with the nicest people. It's very safe, especially I went to San Ignacio, Belize City, and also the Caulker. The San Ignacio, the town itself, is catered to tourists, so safety is top-notch. It's really great. I would always walk around drunk around 3 or 4 in the morning sometimes, and I didn't think about someone attacking me or something like that. I didn't feel anything at all, and I felt pretty safe. Like traveling anywhere, you should exercise common sense. Yeah, don't flash your jewelry or bring too much cash. I would say, yes, Belize is safe, but be mindful of Southside Belize City. Number 2, transportation. So should you rent a car? Should you take a bus? Should you take a taxi? I was pretty overwhelmed before going to Belize, so this is what I did. You get out of your airport and then there are taxi drivers waiting for you. So you talk with any one of them. They're gonna have the same basic price to go to Belize City, which is $25. And for $25 you get to Belize City, right? And then you get to Belize City and there's a bus station right over there. If you were going to San Ignacio, then yes, take the taxi to Belize City, and from Belize City at the bus terminal you take the bus 688. The bus has a schedule, so it's at the bus station plastered on the walls, so that should be easy to find. The bus takes around 3 hours. I would say, they say it's like 2.5 hours, but with the waiting and, you know, with all the logistics, it takes around 3 hours. Bus is gonna cost you like just $5, which is amazing. You do have other options of taking a taxi right from Belize City, which is gonna cost you around at least $100. That's the minimum, because gas is expensive and the taxi drivers don't make that much money. Or you can also take a flight from Belize City to San Ignacio, which is also gonna cost you much more, which is gonna be around $200 to $500. So I travel in a way that I want to feel like a local. So I took the bus and it was a great ride. Why would you take a small plane all the way to the island, which is like super close by? And it's also, if you're an environmentalist, you'll understand it's not worth it. But if you want to go to the islands, for example to Caulker, then of course the same thing. From the airport, for $25, you take the taxi to Belize City bus station. And then from there, from Belize City bus terminal, I kind of walked around 10 minutes to the water ferry. And at the water ferry, you just purchase your tickets, and the water ferry is going to cost you around 12 to 15 bucks. And in like 45 minutes to 50 minutes, you're going to be in Caulker. So that was pretty cheap, fast, and I think it's the best option. If you're renting a car, I would suggest you really be careful of the roads because Belize is like a huge national park. I've heard a lot of people say that the Belize roads actually suck. It's so many potholes, it's very hard to drive. I wouldn't say so because, yeah, of course, they get a lot of rain. So they do have potholes here and there, but the roads are in a good shape. Most of the roads are not paved. So really be mindful, don't get into the mud and don't stray off the main road as much as possible, and don't get into the jungles by yourself because the cell service is not gonna be as intact there. So yeah, please be mindful.
For the YouTube channel, I want to see a video.
Oh yeah, it's Mel Mashbat. It's under my name.
Okay.
Yes, Mel Mashbat.
Okay.
I think we're gonna come back for the fried jacks though.
Tuesday morning though.
And we went in April. It was very hot.
Yeah.
Like, and then we were drinking rum, and it was like even worse. The Badman. Hey, we drank everything. Number 3, food. Oh my God. Oh. I would say in general, you can always have a really good stew chicken. Stew chicken is a blend of spices, all in a delicious, soft chicken with rice and beans. The special thing of rice and beans is that they cook it in coconut water. Rice and beans, stew chicken, fried jacks. Fried jacks are very addictive. They're like, I would say like empanadas, or like, you know, they're fried dough filled with beans or with beef or with any type of, you know, like meat that you'd like. And of course, we have the beautiful Caribbean Sea. There are so many different variety of fish. Unfortunately, it wasn't lobster season when I went there, but lobster, I hear, is out of this world. Also, oh my God, this conch ceviche was like mind-blowing. Conch, I was like, what is conch? So they actually explained it to me that conch is like a huge shell that you like see in like souvenir shops, that are like pinkish rose-colored shells, and there are snails inside of them. So the snails are the conch meat. So you really want to check out the locals farmers market, where you're gonna taste all the like interesting fruits that you're not gonna get here, especially in America. I tasted this custard apple, which was like yogurt, and it was huge, it was rich, it was just like a whole meal by itself. Please try all the local fruits. With the weather in April was pretty humid and hot, it was like I could just eat fruits all day in that climate. My favorite was, of course, the local rum, the coconut rum. A lot of people think like, oh, it looks pretty like bland, it looks simple, but when you're there, when you taste it, it's not simple at all. It might look simple because, you know, they're not doing the chef's table thing and like, you know, decorating or stuff like that. It's just very homey, it's soul food. So yes, please enjoy. Fried jacks especially. And oh, Pelican, how could I have forgotten that? If you want to actually check it out, I have a food tour in San Ignacio, so there you'll have it. Number 4, budget. So how much do you need for your trip? How much are you going to be spending? And of course, everything is relative. It depends on your lifestyle, it depends on your choices you make, and it depends how fancy you are. I would say everything is pretty affordable in a sense that if you go tasting local rums, local beers, and the freshly caught fish from the Caribbean, which is also local, then it's affordable. Because, for example, you go to Caulker and then get a nice salmon, for example, or snapper. So that amazing, delicious snapper is going to cost you around like $15 to $16 in Belizean dollars, which is going to be $8 US. The currency exchange rate right now is 2 Belizean dollars against 1. Also, if you're asking, okay, do I need to exchange my dollars to Belizean dollars, or should I just go with my American dollars, and would that be okay? Yes, that would be totally fine. American dollars are accepted everywhere in Belize. Like Pelican would cost you like around $2 US. And local rum is gonna cost you around even $5 US. And the Coke and rum, come on, for $5, this is like, I was drinking it nonstop and I really kind of damaged my liver in a way. Biggest chunk of your budget is of course hotels, accommodations, and hotels in Belize are pretty affordable. I got an Airbnb on Caulker, which cost me around $40 US, which is a great deal. All in all, I would say Belize is, relatively speaking, it's pretty affordable. A lot of people say that it's not compared to other countries in Central America, but I would say it depends on your lifestyle. All right, number 5. What to do? What kind of things you should do while in Belize? I was very overwhelmed before going to Belize. I was like all over the place. Okay, should I go snorkeling? Should I go diving? Should I go to the Great Blue Hole? Should I take the helicopter over the Great Blue Hole? Or should I go to the Mayan ruins, which is on the other side of the country? Or should I just do me, which is eat, drink, and talk to locals? I set up my priorities. So the priority was it was going to be my first time in the Caribbean, so I really wanted to go swimming. So I ended up snorkeling, and I went snorkeling from Caulker. I felt like Caulker had everything for me because there are so many restaurants that you could choose from. There are so many snorkeling tours, diving tours. Everything you can do is right there. And compared to Caye and San Pedro, it's not as loud, it's not as crowded and rowdy. On Caulker, there are so many tour operators that you can choose from, and I chose the caveman tours. 100% please reserve the tour in advance and call the caveman tours because they're the best. They are the best. If you want to research, but the research is going to show you that they're the best. They have the most satisfied reviews and customers. So go with the Caveman tours, and they're gonna give you a full day or half day tour. So I went for the full day tour. It was around 6 hours, and they're gonna take you to 5 spots. You're gonna see a sunken ship like Titanic. You're gonna see all the rainbows of fish, and you're gonna swim with the sharks. And you're gonna go to the Ho-Chan Marine Reserve, where you're gonna, of course, see the coral reefs. And Belize has the second largest barrier reef in the world, so if you don't go snorkeling or swimming or get anywhere near that, then I would say your trip is not going to be complete. I'm not a huge fan of like tours and planned excursions like that, but you really do need a tour because a lot of people actually ask this question, like, can you snorkel right away? When you wake up, you go to the beach and put on your gear and go into the beach right away. Actually, you can't. Caulker had some seagrass all around, so beach was kind of inaccessible, except the split. And the second goal was like, okay, I've never seen Mayan ruins, so this is gonna be my first time seeing them, so I was pretty excited. There's so many Mayan ruins because Belize was the heart of Maya. At some point in history, there were like 2 million Mayas living in Belize. So they have like a lot of Mayan ruins all over, scattered around Belize. So I was like, well, which one to go? Like, I only have like a limited amount of time. So I went to San Ignacio. When I was in San Ignacio, I went to Sunantunich, which is one of the best archaeological sites, best Mayan sites, because it has this temple which overlooks almost all of Belize, and also the Guatemalan border. You can see right over there. You can just reach to the Guatemalan border. It has a great all-encompassing view of the valley. Sunantunich was just like 10 minutes away of driving. I got a taxi from there, I went there, it was amazing. I was like, oh my god, am I in an Indiana Jones movie or something? I was just like a kid, not knowing even how to react. I was pretty overwhelmed, and I think it took like a couple of months to really process it, and it was the greatest experience of my life. Sunantunich is also only one of the rare sites that you can go and climb on top of the ruins. Nowadays, it's pretty rare. Before, everybody used to climb them, but now, after some tourists falling off the ruins and stuff like that, they made everything secure and safe. So only in Sunantunich you can actually climb the second tallest building in Belize. So if you're in San Ignacio, I would suggest checking out Sunantunich, Cajalpech, the smaller one, although I didn't really have time to go there. And also I went to the Iguana Conservatory, which will put you in the conservatory with the iguanas. You can pet them, you can look at this like tiny baby iguanas too, and they're super amazing animals. I didn't know that, you know, lizards are cold-blooded animals and stuff like that, so I didn't really expect. And Iguana Conservatory, go to the locals farmers market to taste all the exotic fruits, go around town, enjoy the most delicious Belizean food and all the restaurants. And finally, I want to say, of course, there are so many things to do in Belize. Ecotourism is great, it's huge. You want to go to all the parks, see the nature, see the wildlife, but do not neglect talking to the locals. Okay, that's it. I hope my tips were helpful, and if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments. And I really hope you're gonna have an amazing trip. I'm actually pretty sure you're gonna have a mind-blowing trip in Belize. And I put a lot of my heart and soul into my videos, so check them out. I already have some episodes in Belize. Consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and all that jazz. And I hope to see you soon. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. We're gonna put it on the video.
Okay.
How long has this restaurant been open?
Well, this restaurant been here for many years. But you know, it just like moved on to different owners. So he's the owner. He's been here like going on 12 years.
Felt like, wow, like, am I home?
You got
This is
home, right?
such different country, but it felt like the people were like super close to my heart. I was like, ah, damn, like, yeah.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad you guys went and enjoyed it.
You miss home?
I do.